Most people worry about bad trips, but what if a simple green tea compound could make your psychedelic experience calmer, clearer, and even safer? Let's talk about the science of L-theanine before a trip.
L-theanine has been growing in popularity for reducing jitteriness from caffeine and coffee. But what even is L-theanine?
It is an amino acid found naturally within green tea, but at far smaller levels than what can be included in a supplement. I'm Reed, a medical student and future doctor.
And I'm Aaron, a bioengineer and licensed psilocybin facilitator.
Trip Time Essentials is dedicated to psychedelic science, education, and harm reduction. It is not medical advice, and we never encourage the use of illegal substances.
L-theanine has many fascinating effects, but is mainly included in our formula to promote calming GABA receptor activity, support alpha brainwaves, and generally promote relaxation. Let's explore the research on L-theanine for anxiety.
Yes, L-theanine has been shown to decrease measures of stress in humans, as reported by a 2019 randomized controlled trial on the effects of L-theanine. They found decreases on the State Trait Anxiety Inventory Scale. The study used only 200 milligrams of L-theanine, and our pre-trip contains 150% more than this at 300 milligrams per dose.
And just to clarify too, that anxiety inventory scale, what Reed mentioned, is really just a way to clinically measure someone's anxiety.
Exactly.
So give a little background there. A 2022 systematic review examined dosages of 200 to 400 milligrams of L-theanine. And the authors claim that L-theanine can help with stress reduction. Quote, in people exposed to stressful conditions, one of these conditions was taking L-theanine alongside caffeine, which was found to prevent the increase in blood pressure and heart rate found only in the caffeine group.
This is especially interesting because we know psychedelics to commonly increase heart rate and blood pressure as well. So we can kind of compare that over to caffeine.
Yeah, especially something like psilocybin. You know, we say it moderately increases heart rate and blood pressure.
Yeah, as well as LSD.
Yep.
That's directly been shown to as well. And then another condition in this systematic review was L-theanine being taken before a 20-minute math test, while another was for pharmacy school students during their first week of placement. This research really helps support the concept of taking L-theanine in acute scenarios, which is exactly how you would describe a psychedelic experience, just this acute one-time experience done intermittently, and showing that L-theanine can be used in this one-time setting rather than like a chronic daily dosing over many months. Of course, there's no studies combining L-theanine directly with psychedelics, and the closest combination we have is with that caffeine. However, the consistent stress-relieving effect across multiple different stressful conditions makes L-theanine very promising for being helpful in this psychedelic context.
Yeah. And if you're enjoying this video so far, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. It really helps us out, especially as a newer channel right now. Now let's take a peek at the alpha brainwave research. In a 2008 research study, L-theanine was shown with EEG readings in humans to increase alpha brainwaves, which according to the authors, quote, relaxes the mind without inducing drowsiness. This is huge and exactly what we are seeking in regards to improving the psychedelic experience with our product pre-trip.
Another quote from the study says, quote, this would suggest that L-theanine brings about an enhancement in both sustained attention across the time frame of the task and in the effectiveness of phasic attentional deployments. It's just a mess of words right there.
Yeah, but maybe give a simple example for that.
Yeah, in other words, this implies that even though L-theanine reduces anxiety, it also supports efficient and directed focus towards important tasks, which may help users engage more effectively with the content of the psychedelic trip. Their thoughts and experiences may be more coherent overall, and you may be able to actually retain a little bit more of that content just because you're more effectively engaged.
Yeah, which could be really helpful. You know, oftentimes people do tend to forget some of their journey even within 48 hours. And so we often encourage journaling as soon as you can right afterwards. But something like this could be helpful for even remembering some of those peak moments that you could forget right after the experience.
Yeah, and it may help with the journaling too when you come back later to be able to remember more of the peak. Yeah, exactly.
L-theanine also shows neuroprotective and even neuroregenerative potential. Research in mice was able to find increased expression of the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF protein, which is basically a growth factor for neurons and is associated with antidepressant effects. Many psychedelics have been found to increase BDNF, so L-theanine may play very nicely with this combination of psychedelics.
Yeah, we may even get an enhancement of overall BDNF levels. All hypothetical, of course, no research showing this combination, but you have two different compounds increasing BDNF, you would expect some kind of enhancement there. And lastly, we'll take a look at L-theanine's GABA receptor research. GABA receptors are one of the primary targets of common anxiety medications on the market. And a 2007 paper reports that L-theanine exerts some of its effects through the GABA-A receptors, which when activated are known to have these stress-relieving properties.
Absolutely, yeah. Different medication and things for anti-anxiety will often hit those GABA receptors.
Yes.
The researchers determined this by using a GABA-A antagonist, which blocks GABA-A receptor function in combination with L-theanine, finding an elimination of L-theanine's neuroprotective benefits. Again, kind of showing that when they blocked that GABA-A receptor, L-theanine wasn't able to have some neuroprotective benefits.
Yeah, really just showing it does work through GABA-A.
Exactly.
At least partially. There's a lot of other mechanisms, and we're not going to get into all of that here. L-theanine really does do a lot of things.
Yes.
Very fascinating stuff. But to sum it all up for the video, L-theanine helps to promote a relaxed headspace while also improving focus and alertness, which is a perfect blend of effects for the psychedelic experience.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Do you have any favorite pre-trip rituals? See you all next time, and as always, elevate your trip.